Hello, this is Russell from
Tones of Evil.
and you're listening to Capes and Lunatics.
Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend D.G. Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Recording has started. In a world of capes and lunatics, of gods and monsters, there are those threats so great no single human can face them. In those moments shall rise a team. That team is the Avengers, and this is Avengers Declassified. I'm your host, Charlie the Professor Esser, and with me, as always, is the blue-eyed bomber of the Burg of Pits,
Phil Podcast Perich.
Welcome, Philip.
Hello.
Welcome to this episode of Avengers Declassified, part of the Capes and Lunatics family. We are discussing tonight Captain America, issue, was it 445 to 448?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Again, very 90s books.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it was a transition, too, because this was like the beginning of Mark Waid's first run, and you were coming off the end of Mark Gruenwald's run, yeah.
It is a weird one, because it's effectively, and it's one of these weirdest things where it's like, I've read these books, but, like, the only thing that stuck with me was that, Sharon Carter's back, and she had to deal with some nastiness when she got left behind enemy lines and S.H.I.E.L.D. collapsed. Gee, I wonder if that'll play out in the MCU in any way. Because, and here she is partnering with the Red Skull.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this actually leads into a little Korvac storyline, doesn't it?
Eventually, yeah. Yeah.
Eventually, yeah. So it's a little self-contained here. And that's the thing. It's like I remember that Korvac story a bunch more than I remember this one. But I do remember reading this.
Because Mark Waid starts here. He does a few. He gets the 454 or something. Yeah. Then Heroes Reborn hits, and then after Heroes Reborn, Mark Waid comes back, and that's when you get like the Korvac stuff. Yeah.
That explains it.
Yes.
That explains my disconnect within the continuity. Because, yes, hey, guess who's back, Philip?
Sharon Carter?
Hitler!
Oh, Hitler, too, yes.
Yes.
In the Cosmic Cube.
In the Cosmic... Well, and to be fair, and this is what I always say about killing Hitler. Everybody kills Hitler.
And it wasn't even just like killing Hitler. The Red Skull just like dropped him in a Cosmic Cube and it's like, oh yeah, that won't come back to bite me in the ass. No.
Yeah, that was a bad idea on his part.
Let me drop him in the magic wishing machine. Yeah, nothing bad will happen.
Well, it's like when you drop someone in a sausage machine, you assume they're going to be sausage.
That's true, but
I mean, for what it's worth, the Red Skull gets trapped in magic wishing machines too. And, it's not good because it turns out if you have a lot of mentally bad things,
and
you go into the wishing machine, it does not turn out well for you. It's like that little red ruby in the Sandman stories, It's like it makes dreams come true. Dreams aren't good, man. Dreams are usually pretty weird and crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to talk to a living donut,
Well, again, at the end of Mark Gruenwald's run, if any of you have seen 90s Captain America armor, that's because the super soldier serum was breaking down and, He almost died, but yes, last minute he gets a complete blood transfusion from the Red Skull, who's in a cloned Cap body. So
yeah, what's weird about that is like I did not remember that at all. I actually, because like I remember him getting bitten by a rattlesnake and that somehow saving him.
That's what, like when it was still breaking down during Mark Grunwald's run. Like he was starting to get paralyzed. That's why he put the armor on. But yeah, he was like in the desert about to die, and like he was waiting for a rattlesnake to bite him. He's like, oh, maybe the venom will like jolt my heart or something. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, either way, he's dead again. But in truth, no, the Red Skull saved him.
No, the Red Skull saves him and says, you know what? You were built to defeat Hitler. Go get him.
Yeah, well, and to be fair, he's not wrong. Although, arguably, so was the Red Skull. I mean, especially if he's in Cap's body. It's like...
physically, yeah, but I mean, I think, was it... The Red Skull was, quote-unquote, created by Hitler, pretty much, wasn't it? You know?
Well, here's what I'll say. It's like, if you actually go into, like, the weirdness of, like, 1940s Red Skull books, it's like he actually, like, trained to be really good at everything. There's a whole thing where he like becomes the world's greatest archer by just like being super obsessed with archery for a while, and he's like, yes, now I am the world's greatest archer, and now I will fight Captain America with archery. Ha-ha! Because it was the 40s.
Because they did like a Red Skull origin story. Mark Waid did it. I think it was like right before that Korvac story, because it's right before Red Skull returned. They do like an origin kind of for him, because I don't know if he's like reliving it after getting blasted by the Cosmic Cube, and it was basically, he was basically a bellhop at a German hotel back then.
No, and that I think predates that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bellhop story. That's like the old story. Yeah. That's the original story where he says any of these guys could be my hero. I don't know if that actually even... I don't know if that's a 1940s story.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's probably a 60s story.
I know they've told it before, but Hitler's basically meeting with his guys and says, you know what, I can turn anyone into the ultimate Nazi. I can take this bellhop and make him the ultimate Nazi.
And then he looks at him and says, hey, buddy! You look like a Schickelgruber, so I'm gonna make you...
Hey, what you making here, son? What you making here? Chump change? How would you like to make some real money?
Yeah, well, for what it's worth, But of course, the problem is that much like Hitler, once you let him think he's all that, then all of a sudden he wants everything. It's like, friend, that's not how it's gonna work. But anyway, so Hitler's got his little cube cultists.
Well, yeah, he starts to become active in the Cosmic Cube again, and like tries to like to alter reality, where it's like the Nazis won.
As you do. It's interesting because and then again, it's all about who gets to grab the MacGuffin last. And I do remember this. This is the thing. They do defeat Hitler. Not quite sure how they defeat Hitler, but they do. So it's fine.
Well, basically, I mean, the Skull dumped Captain America in the Cosmic Cube, where it's like, oh, he's going to destroy Hitler, and then he'll be destroyed. He'll be destroyed. But no, Cap breaks out before that, and then as the Skull's reaching for the cube, Cap whips his shield. Not only breaks the Cosmic Cube, but takes off Red Skull's arm.
Oh well, there you go. Yeah, that vibranium, it's weirdly psychoactive. Where it's like it's only sharp when it needs to be,
Well, back then I believe it was vibranium and adamantium. So yeah, it's.
Well, yeah, of course,
You whip it hard enough, it's going through anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose. Well, that's the. That's always that thing with that. Is like when is it dull and when. You know what I actually think? I'm going to give you my amazing fan theory, no prize worthy answer. One side is sharp, one side is blunt.
Oh.
So when he needs to throw the sharp side, because he's got that peak mental ability, he plots out exactly how it has to go so that the sharp side hits or the blunt side hits where he needs it to hit. And that's what happens, man. He's like Amadeus Cho. You ever watch read any of the old Amadeus Cho books where he's like, doesn't have the Hulk powers yet, which honestly... he didn't need. They shouldn't have given them to him, but he has them.
Oh, like the Hercules book, and yeah.
Yeah, and you just see him like looking at all the freaking different angles, and like, okay, so this will hit there, and this is what I need to do. So I just need to do this, and everything else will fall into place. And that's what Cap does every single freaking time. So when he needs to chop off someone's arm, when he needs to go for the arm, he goes for the arm. Cap doesn't go for the chest. He understands the limitations of the scene.
I mean, when he pops out of that cube, he basically tells Skull, he's like, tell me there's no way I'm going to kill you. And it's like, it's Steve Rogers. He's not going to kill him. But hey, he took his arm off.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing. And but even before we get to that, so...
Yeah.
We do have the whole thing, because obviously we're talking about 4 issues in one here.
Yes,
and it is a lot to take in. Sharon Carter coming back, that's a big deal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this had been, it was probably either late 70s or early 80s when she supposedly died. So this was 95. Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know, man. Poor Sharon Carter has been put through so much. At a certain point, you got to say, why are we putting this poor lady through this much? It's like, for goodness sake, just, call a shelter half an entrenching tool. Let the woman live her life or let her die, but don't just keep on bringing her back.
Well, I mean, she had been dead for, like I said, for at least 15 years, if not more. And then I guess Mark Waid decided to bring her back. So,
yeah, I don't know, man. It doesn't necessarily make sense to me. But then again, it doesn't make sense to me that they're bringing Peggy Carter back, except that she came back as Captain Carter in The Exiles.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that's like weird to me. It's like, okay, that all came back. Because they actually did do that, and they explained that, no, that all happened in the 616 as well, because we have Becky Barnes, Nomad, come back in Future Foundation. So there's a lot of depth and complexity to the stories, is what I'm going to say. But yeah, so, I mean, this is kind of dark how they bring her back. Just the implications of this and about what she had to do while she was on the run, which is how she got involved with the Red Skull.
Well, she said, yeah, because she said S.H.I.E.L.D. dropped her in all these, hot spots, and then eventually, somehow, she basically gets left on her own for some reason. So
is the implication from this that this was after she got burnt up?
Yeah.
After she got burnt up, that's when.
But it's like, did she get burnt up? Because that's what he even says. He's like, she's dead, and and Sharon, before he knows it's her, says, "Oh, you saw the whole thing on video, okay." Because I remember that. Because at the end of that story, this news crew's like, "Oh, Cap, we have video of that," But she's like, "Oh yeah, you saw it on video. Yeah, that can't be faked."
Yeah, but that's the thing. So it's like she was never.
It was during a Dr. Faustus story. So
yeah, good old Dr. Faustus.
I'm sure you could trust your eyes there. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, in this moment, it's pretty dark, and it's interesting because they do revisit it later, and like some of the panels that kind of imply certain things, you find out that that was just her seducing a person to kill them. She wasn't actually a prostitute for a while there, so. But
yeah,
they play it real fast and loose there, and I kind of wonder if there was some editorial mandate. Hey, we should clarify that.
Maybe.
Don't say Sharon Carter was a prostitute if you're going to have her actually be a part of this story going forward,
But yeah, no, she's like, oh yeah, eventually she gets lost, there's no support that behind enemy lines anymore. I'm thinking, it's probably like the 5th time S.H.I.E.L.D. broke up or whatever. That's probably what it was.
Yeah, well, they, probably during that time when S.H.I.E.L.D. was taken over by LMDs and Nick Fury had to destroy them all. Remember that Nick Fury vs. S.H.I.E.L.D.? That was a good series. There was a lot of times Nick Fury had to completely dismantle S.H.I.E.L.D. because it had become corrupt from within. As it turns out...
And what an SOB, he never tells Cap she's alive. I mean, I know it's a retcon, but it's like he never tells Cap she's alive, nothing.
Because you know what? Because Fury isn't worried about any Fury worries about soldiers individually only in the aggregate. What does this soldier need to keep moving? And not for nothing, if he had told Cap that Sharon was alive...
Oh, he would have went after her, yeah.
Exactly, but that's a very important asset that's now off my board.
Mm-hmm.
He can't have that. Like, Civil War was a big pain in the neck for Fury. Because all of a sudden, all of these, superheroes who were right where he left them suddenly started making decisions for themselves. It's like, I did not freaking set you people into these positions for you to start going, well, now we're going to fight. But anyway, we get the whole thing. Cap wishes the cosmic cube to self-destruct.
But he drops it before he can complete that wish.
Yeah. Well, because I guess he was afraid it would blow up in his face. Which maybe he should say, Cosmic Cube, turn yourself into a rock with no mystical cosmic powers.
Well, no, I think he was in the middle of saying self-destruct, but they were like hanging from like a broken catwalk, and he drops it. He's like, God.
The Red Skull catches it.
Yeah, that's when he puts Cap in the cube, yeah.
Puts Cap back in the cube. And the problem with Cap in the... Well, the Cap in the cube, it's fun, except he's, living in the dream world.
Yeah, it's like the 1940s, but again, some modern stuff keeps creeping in, like cell phones and Walkmans and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, Walkman. Remember Walkman?
Yes!
Now, that had to be a Discman. That was the 90s, man.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. We still had the wired headsets, but, medium had changed.
Like that one kid was singing a modern song for the time, and then he's like, "Oh, what's your hurry? You're going to be late for Amos and Andy."
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, moving right along. Yeah. So Cap gets out at the end of that, and although it's kind of neat when he's in it because it's like he's in it and there's Bucky. And, there's this so here's this weird fan theory for me that Bucky being alive is about how often Captain America came into contact with cosmic cubes over the years.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they should retcon that. I mean, retroactively. And it's like, at some point, like say in this story, he subconsciously, he willed Bucky back into existence. So that changed the whole history. So, the Russians did pick him up.
They did that.
Oh, really?
Well, in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Oh, yeah.
There is a scene that strongly implies that when Cap touched the cosmic cube, but then, he's too moral to use it. But you actually get that flashback and you see Bucky didn't die. And that's what starts into the Winter Soldier storyline that they do in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. And it is just this idea that, that would make a lot of sense that Cap actually, the one thing that he would change if he could is just to make sure this one person he couldn't save, he saved.
Mm-hmm.
Because anybody else, they lived their lives, they did what they did, or they fought what they fought, and it wasn't his fault. This was the one person that he felt directly responsible for. And
because even Sharon even says in this, it's like, yeah, you got to override, the Hitler programming in that cube. She's like, but you got to watch your slightest, fantasy or whim is going to be made real. So yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, and you see that when she's saying that because you see suddenly she's drawn in 1960s style.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and of course, as soon as they come in to the cube, and we think it's Sharon jumping off saying we did it, but it's Bucky because this is where Cap saves Bucky because that is who he wants to be alive more than anyone else.
And his mother's in there, yeah.
Yeah, which honestly, that should have been his first red flag, and I think it is.
Oh yeah, again at the end there, yeah. Bucky's like, yeah, it's not me. It's basically your subconscious telling you snap out of it.
Yeah, well, exactly. Don't be stupid, Steve Rogers. When you think about it and you stretch it all out into larger things, when you get to the cosmic cubes that we see later, it's all the same cosmic cube. The cosmic cube at Pleasant Hill, that's this cosmic cube.
Yeah.
That's this cosmic cube that has been smacked around by Hitler and Red Skull and Captain America. Just trying to freaking evolve into a freaking Beyonder, man. Why do you people have to be such jerks about it? You know, I'm just trying to make dreams come true. Why do you have to be a jerk?
And I mean, when you think about Red Skull, man, he has his Doctor Doom moments because he's always about those cosmic cubes and getting that power, man.
You know, and you know why? Because they're dropouts.
Well, true.
Because they're looking for shortcuts.
Dropout. I don't know if Red Skull ever went to school.
He dropped out of something. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, he's probably in the Depression. He might not even gone to school.
Yeah, never even learned to read or write. I don't know. I don't know what kind of education he had, but I'm telling you, at some point he just said,
I think the only education he got was from Hitler, I think.
Well, maybe Hitler taught him to read. Maybe not. I'm not going to go that far.
Hey.
Here's my statement. Red Skull can't read. There we go. Fan theory, make it real, Marvel. I never saw him read anything.
I was gonna say. Now I'm trying to think. Did we ever see him read anything? I don't think so. I can't remember anything.
Read. You don't know how to read. You never got educated. He just.
Why do you think he had all these henchmen? They read for him.
Exactly. Yes, that's a lot of goons around him, so that no one knows he can't read, but he is actually functionally illiterate.
Hey, Bobby, it's your turn to read the boss a bedtime story.
Pretty much, you know. Oh, goodness. Anyway, so, yeah, but they do blow up the Cosmic Cube eventually, and we can see the Red Skull's atoms.
Oh, yeah, you see like a shadow like vaporized on the wall.
Which is honestly super spooky. It just is something that exists, that, yes, that actually happens at a nuclear blast, that your shadow effectively becomes carbonized on the wall behind you. And it's not your shadow, it's you, just burnt to dust and built into that wall now. That's scary. And it's a good thing that's the last we ever see of Red Skull.
Well, even Steve says in this story, he's like, I don't know if Red Skull survived, but that's a thing. You know, that's something for another day. But he even says, he's like, he might have survived.
Well, and to put it to you clearly, as we've said a million times, it's not the Red Skull.
Yeah.
Because even when they bring the Red Skull back more recently, it's not even that Red Skull. It's like, no, this is just the old tapes. We stopped making tapes at a certain point. You know?
Yeah, but I wonder though, because like you said, the next story, you know, right before like that Korvac stuff, like the Skull shows up, and I think he has the cube. So I wonder if he like resets himself back to the original Skull when he has the cube.
Anything's possible, you know. I mean, that's the thing, and that's where it goes into that. With that, did Bucky really survive, or did, because they were connected, that's actually what allowed them to survive? You know.
Yeah.
That the Red Skull just made sure that that all the factors would be in place for him to come back. Because
I swear they said in the story you can't resurrect the dead, but I'm like, you can alter time and space, right?
Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like you're not resurrecting the dead. You're just saying that they never died. You know? And also you can do whatever the heck you want because it's a freaking cosmic cube.
Exactly.
But it has local variance.
Mm-hmm.
Which means you can turn the Earth into... You can alter the laws of physics within a regional area where the Earth can be made of chocolate pudding. But you can't make the universe into chocolate pudding. But only because you can't conceive of a universe made of chocolate pudding. You can conceive of an Earth made of chocolate pudding because within your observational framework, it is made of chocolate pudding. That is why the second that you drop the cosmic cube, everything goes back to normal. Because reality has a normal state. Whatever flavor you like. That's not the salient point. But and for example, that is why you need all the stones to do what you wish.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reality stone, you can kill half the people in your area, but as soon as you leave, they...
Yeah, like when he attacked the Guardians, and like basically made them fall apart. Yeah, the minute he left, they all, like, their bodies reassembled themselves, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, because they did not have... actually did have the space stone by that point.
But he didn't have all of them.
Yeah, I guess they can't work in unison until they're all in unison. We'll say that.
Yeah.
But that's the idea, is that you need it to extend that the reality stone needs to extend not only over that moment and that space, but through all of space and time. So you need the space-time, the time stone. I guess you need the soul stone too for some reason. And the mind stone. Because, you have to make sure everyone's mind is doing what you want them to do. Because otherwise they'll break out. So it's like, to do everything that you need to do to change an entire universe, you need all the stones. Because otherwise something will say, no, you don't have the reach to do that. You can do it in the space, you can do it in the time, you can do it with reality. But, people's minds will break out or people's souls will break out.
Or I wonder, too, if you need all the stones to, dust people, because it's going to be harder for your body to put itself back together when it's been dusted. When he attacked the Guardians, but when he didn't have all the stones, he basically made them like building blocks or stuff. Yeah, it's just stupid stuff. But
and then they all come back together. And again, because it's once he leaves, because that's the thing is there's no connection. You can alter reality in this local space. You can move things in space, and you can use the time stone to move things in time. But what you have to do is you have to something that can connect space and time and reality. And for that, you need the Mind Stone and the Soul Stone.
And the Power Stone's going to boost all of them.
Well, the Power Stone, that's all it does. It just makes you strong. Makes you be able to punch things. Because that's the thing people do, is they punch things. All right, Philip. You want to talk a comic book, Phil?
Oh, yeah.
Because we do have an Avengers book out this week. Avengers 60. Don't let the cover fool you, people. It has nothing to do with Spider-Man.
Oh, that's the variant, yeah.
Yeah. Did you have a Hawkeye one? Or
yeah, Hawkeye, but who looks like Black Widow on the cover, yes.
Yes, and it's Hawkeye. And I love this story. It is so cerebral.
Is Hawkeye is he more or less important than a mailbox?
Well, but as he says, there's no shame in being beaten by the best. Well, and that's the thing of it, it's like, as basically Hawkeye won this the minute he starts questioning who the heck are the Celestials to say whether or not life gets to exist,
Mm-hmm.
And it makes a whole thing about, we Celestials recognize you as TILFs. I do like the word TILF. A TILF is a technologically inclined life forager.
It means you're self-destructive, but you like an audience.
Yes, it means you're self-destructive, but you like an audience. Which, who doesn't? It says the people on a podcast, we're clearly self-destructive, and we like an audience, hence podcastery. And I do love his nonchalance about everything. He's not taking the threat of the Celestial seriously because, for what it's worth, he knows nothing he can do can stop whatever the Celestial does.
Mm-hmm.
It is literally just that the Celestial needs to make their point. And I like the fact that he winds up happening to see Crossfire trying to kill someone. And then he stops him, and Crossfire's like, do you know who I was paid to assassinate? Do you know how many more people were going to get killed because you stopped me from assassinating him? But, within that entire concept, it's like, well, yeah, but who paid you to assassinate that guy?
It was a black market. It was a black market arms dealer he was going to kill. So it's like, it's probably competition who paid him to kill him.
Exactly. It's not like we raised the people of I forget the name of the town, but raised the money so that you could defeat El Guapo. We did that because we knew you would refuse it eventually. No, it's like, somebody just as bad wanted that other person to be dead. So that's what happened. Although I do like the Crossfire Hawkeye fight. And then you see at the end of the day, the Black Widow Celestial sends the letter to Clint basically saying, okay, you won, because all it's like, and that's the thing. It's like there's only so much you can do. In this, when someone says we're going to judge you, it's like, okay, well, judge, If you're so all-powerful, judge. I live my life the best I can. I do the best I can. And if you think that somehow it's not up to your standards, or that all of humanity isn't up to your standard. And, to be fair, that's the big trick of humanity, is enough of us are nice enough that killing us all doesn't make sense. And see, that's how we get them. That's how we get them. Because there's always just enough nice people among humanity that you can't wipe us all out, because that would be cruel. And the thing is, unless you're going to just judge each human being individually and say, okay, you deserve to live and you deserve to die based on the cosmic code of comic accuracy, you are going to kill innocent people. And then aren't you just the awful celestial? You killed that little baby. Why did you kill that baby? What did that baby do to you? What was that baby going to do that was so horrible that you had to kill the baby? Why are you killing babies, Celestials? Don't kill babies. That's wrong. You killed a kitten. Killing kittens is wrong, and you shouldn't do it ever.
I love when Hawkeye goes to that diner. He wants to clean up in the bathroom. The one's like, "You gonna order anything?" He's like, "Yeah, 2 cheeseburgers." She's like, "You want fries with that?" "Oh yeah, I'm not a monster."
Well, yeah, that's delightful. I love the fact that he orders 2 cheeseburgers, even though he doesn't know there's going to be another person joining him.
Oh, true.
I mean, maybe he could have eaten 2. Maybe there were sliders. I don't know, but it's like. Interesting.
Well,
interesting that he orders the 2 cheeseburgers, almost implying that, yeah, he knew something was up.
Yeah, but didn't he give one to that dog, though?
Oh, yeah, so I was planning on giving one to the dog. Maybe he likes the dog. Actually, he only gives a half a cheeseburger to the dog, because this is one of those fancy places where they cut the sandwiches in half.
Well, it's a small dog, too. It's not like it's a big dog, either.
Yeah, but that means that he basically had 4 halves of hamburger that he's eating. Even if he was planning on giving one to a dog, did he eat all the other 3? Because we see Natasha Celestial does eat one. Well, actually, she eats the fries. Well, I don't know if we actually see her eat a cheeseburger. So, maybe he ate the other 1 and a third. So, 1 and a half. So, but I do get the feeling that Hawkeye, this is one of these, Hawkeye is more aware than people think. In fact, I love that when he goes to Luke Cage. Says, I needed to talk to someone smarter. Says, I think Tony Stark's available. Says, I don't need someone that smart. But, within that statement, there is something a little deeper in that, which is like, we both know Tony Stark may be super smart, but he doesn't have wisdom.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like, I need someone that is smart, like Luke Cage, but who also has wisdom, because he's the freaking mayor of New York City now. And this, maybe even in its own way, this is him sort of making the Celestial come along on his day. Maybe it's like, oh, well, let's go talk to the mayor who has to make these very weighty and difficult decisions. And he is Luke Cage, who maybe is a good man, but that budgets don't care if you're a good man or not. They just need to know how much you want to tax the populace and what those taxes are going to have effects on in the larger economics of the city, It gets a lot more complex when you get down to the nitty-gritty,
Mm-hmm.
Like he says, I'm just debating if I want to buy an iPhone, He's like, it's so cool, but oh yeah, the slave labor. Oh yeah, slave labor. I forgot about that. Not that any other phone isn't made with slave labor, but, how else am I supposed to watch my YouTube videos? Okay, Philip, anything else you want to talk about tonight?
So you didn't read Avengers Forever number 9?
Oh, I thought you said that was a reprint.
No, you asked me if it was a reprint. I said, what? No.
No, I said I got Avengers Forever. And you said...
No, you said, is this a reprint? I was like, reprint? Question mark? I'm like, no.
No, you said Avengers Forever number 9. It says, I said, do you need Avengers Forever? And you said Avengers Forever?
No, you said Avengers Forever. Is Avengers Forever a reprint? And no, the last one...
I wouldn't have questioned it if you had not said it was...
No, the last one was the Thor one. No, this one came out this week. No, it's
Dang you, Philip! You confused me.
It's a Carol Danvers one. Yeah, no,
I know it's a Carol Danvers. I know because she's fighting whatever the heck Kamandi fought. Remember Kamandi, the last boy?
Yeah.
You have all the animal people, except this one has human people too. So in a world where humans and animal people have risen to oppress other people for some reason.
Because no one's allowed to fly on this world, and every time she tries, they eventually strap her to a ball and chain and then she keeps trying to leap out of this pit with this ball and chain, and eventually, once she frees herself with that ball and chain, she can leap like the Hulk, so...
Yay!
And then at the end, she gets picked up by the Carol Corps, so, now we have an army of Carol Danvers also, so...
Yay! I like Carol Danvers. Okay, man, you got me. You got in my head, Philip.
Sorry, I thought...
No, I've got my fist. I'm going to look what I told you. I'm going to look what I said. 1 second. I will do a screenshot if I have to. Okay, yeah, so, okay. I said,
Well, you confused me, too, so...
Okay, so I said, is Avengers Forever 9 another... Oh, okay, because you don't have Avengers Forever on your list.
Because you know why? Because it didn't have a code in it. I was waiting for the code, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you said, oh, no.
I said, oh, no code. I get you.
I got you, so I got it, too. You said, I got it, too.
Yeah, okay, there we go. So, see, but this is the thing,
So I thought, okay, we're good. He has the book, too.
I don't know, Phil. I still somehow feel you're in the wrong.
You people seeing how the sausage is made.
Usually when you say, you do that, and they say, I'll put in the codes for X, Y, and Z later because it's not one of the ones.
I didn't put it. Yes, I did not put the code in yet. I got to check my email.
But
I thought,
say that.
when you said I have it too, I got it too. I thought, okay, I don't have to worry about getting him that code because he has the physical book.
Philip, I understand your perspective.
It was miscommunication, okay?
Yeah, but that's okay. And actually, I not for what it's worth, I got most of that entire story from just what I did read.
Yes,
it's beautifully drawn. It does look like it's a really interesting story. I will have to read it now. But yeah, so that's basically it. Just
yeah.
Is imprisoned on the world of the. Did they ever explain who the Animen are or what's going on with
No,
that?
not really. I think they're basically like that world's version of the Hellfire Club, and there's like a Phoenix there, or Dark Phoenix. So yeah, no, it's just
a weird world.
Yeah, they don't explain why half of them are animal people. No.
Yeah. Okay. This is just what happens when someone kills Herbert Wyndham.
Oh wait, you didn't read Jane Foster and Mighty Thor #4?
No, I did not. What happens in that?
I put the code in. Someone else.
I didn't, dude. I get so little time to read anymore.
I know. Me too.
Like I said, I didn't have to read all of the Captain America and Avengers books.
Yeah,
maybe.
But no. I mean, again, it's good. Yeah, because the battle's raging in Asgard. Thor and Jane. It turns out they're trapped in a dream, in a dream world. I don't know if they said who it was yet, but no, I guess it's the daughter of Nightmare.
Oh, I didn't know Nightmare had a daughter.
Yeah.
Who's the mom? Or the dad?
They didn't say. Well, they didn't say. So.
Okay. Or does Nightmare just bud a new version of Nightmare every so often?
Who knows? But no, at the end, because Ty, who was that? Was that Odin's brother, Tyr?
Yeah, Tyr.
Tyr, yeah. Is
it Tyr or was it Tyr?
I don't know.
Now you got me wondering.
But no, I don't know if he portrayed the Asgardians, but we see who he's working for. This gentleman is getting around a lot lately. Ares.
Oh, Ares. Good old Ares.
So the
serpent is working for Ares.
Yeah, he's behind the invasion of Asgard. So yeah.
You know what? I do like Ares because he is the god of war, and he is like, you know what, man? Nobody likes me, but I'm like the thing that drives humanity forward.
So
it's
he's
conflict that makes us strong.
So he's really getting in everyone's face these days. The Asgardians, Frank Castle.
Because you know why? Because he knows we got to fight Mephisto, just like Khonshu did, man. But he's like, no, man. You guys think you're ready for Mephisto? You're not. You got to be ready. You got to get pumped, man. You got to get in shape. You got to get your weapons out. You got to be ready for the war with Mephisto. Because nobody ever realizes that all you have to do with Mephisto is say, I don't actually acknowledge your power over me. And then it's like, what? I don't acknowledge your power over me. I don't know. You say you're a demon? Do you have any proof of this? Do you have a contract? I mean, what is it? Under what jurisdiction is this contract? adjudicated.
Show me your badge, sir. What's your badge number?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, that's why we've never had She-Hulk versus Mephisto. Because She-Hulk would just... It's like, exactly what jurisdiction do you have over this place, Even in the realms of hell, we know that Mephisto doesn't sit on the satanic throne, so we know he doesn't even have rule over his own dimension.
Yeah, no, there's multiple.
He's basically a mid-level crime boss who staked out his territory, but he's always got to defend it against the other demons that are trying to get into his territory. But none of them are in charge. And he can go across multiple dimensions, get all the other Mephistos together. But at the same time, those guys aren't going to work together at all, ever. And it's like,
Oh.
Right in Secret Wars 2, he's just an itch.
You know why else you want to read Jane Foster in the Mighty Thor #4? You know who's in it? Our old buddy Thory. Remember the dog? Wanted to eat some bad guys, yeah.
He likes to eat the bad guys. Well, he's the child of a hellhound and a two-headed wolf, so what else you going to do, my friend?
He wants to eat, what's his name? Tyre. He's like, ooh, tasty traitor.
The Serpent. Let's just call him the Serpent.
Yes.
It's just easier that way.
Yeah.
There's another god that's a Tyre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
one
Thory.
of Odin's other brothers, or like the god of war who gets his arm bitten off.
But yeah, Thory's just like, tasty traitor.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's, the Serpent isn't what he used to be. Because he was better. Because that's the thing is that, these things are only as powerful as the myths that surround them. And they're only a powerful myth until they get their butt handed to them. Which is why, I will say, Volstagg is the most powerful god of all. Because he is one of those gods, like Loki, who can tell you a good story. Mm-hmm. And will tell you about all the times he kicked the serpent's butt and fried him up in his skillet.
Oh my.
It might not have taken long term, but he's had his times being the great hero, and he will tell you all about it if you want to hear. Alrighty, Philip. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, well, I think that was a good show. And, Philip, if you would like to write to you or talk to you or give us money, how can they do so?
Well, if you want to send us your thoughts, especially for next week when we cover Captain America 450 through 453, but you can send your thoughts, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can follow Avengers Declassified on Facebook, on Twitter. Find links to all the various social medias for all the shows we do. Link to the YouTube channel. Again, everything gets a video. So, yes, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos of everything we do.
Smash it.
And, of course, most importantly, the Patreon. Again, $3 to $5 gets you early access to creator interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
And superhero movie brackets. We will find the worst superhero movie of all time by the end of the year. So, yes, subscribe now. You can listen to all the previous episodes, the upcoming episodes. And while you're sitting there watching, you can be drinking out of your Capes and Lunatics cup or any of our other fine merchandise. That's right, t-shirts. It's there in your t-shirt. Find it all at Linktree, linktr.ee/CapesandLunatics. Charlie Esser, where can people talk to you about Cosmic Cubes?
Well, if they want to talk to me about the Phantom or the Spirit, which is our two movie brackets we're talking about this weekend, they can do so by writing me in that old-fashioned email way the way our mothers and fathers once did at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. Of course, follow me on the Twitter as I live tweet things when I feel like it at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEssescr. Look for the two E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, Maz.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have listened to another episode of Avengers Declassified on the Capes and Lunatics Network. This podcast will self-destruct in 10 seconds.
Like a Cosmic Cube.
kids.
It's like a toilet.
I like the toy. I have one of those. I have a couple of those.
I hope you have a toilet. You don't live in the DC universe.
Oh no, I said a toy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A
Oh,
toy
okay. I
Cosmic
thought
Cube.
you said
Those
toilet.
you
Okay.
remember when they were giving away the Cosmic Cubes at your local?
Yeah, during the Secret Empire
Comic
thing
book
with
store.
Hydra Cap. Yeah.
What's that? I thought that was related to the Avengers movies. Okay, well, yeah.
Hi, I'm Pax.
And I'm Abigail.
Welcome to Ghost Spider Groupies, a podcast dedicated to Gwen Stacy of Earth 65, also known as Spider-Gwen and Ghost Spider, where we review her comics, discuss news, and give our opinions about all things Gwen 65.
Right now, we are reading through Gwen's main solo series. Each week, we break down a new arc and discuss our and the listener's thoughts. Tune into each episode and come on this journey through the character's history with us, available wherever you listen to your podcasts.